Here we go then. Another day of fantastic football ahead. Obviously, after last night's performance from the Italians to kick off the tournament, started very, very strong, the Italians. Everybody else has got a lot to live up to. Italy have now set the bar. So obviously today, the first game, we're going to start off with Wales against Switzerland, which will be a very close contest. I think it'll be 1-1. Wales have they've got Kiefer Moore up front, the Cardiff striker. He's got 20 goals in 42 last year for Cardiff, which is a very good record in the Championship. Cardiff obviously unlucky not to get into the playoffs last season. After Mick McCarthy came in, they went on quite a bit of a run and it seemed to peter out about March time, the crucial point. Obviously, you've got Bale and Dan James playing today. Obviously, everybody knows what Bale's about. He's still a world-class footballer. He's just been very unlucky with his injuries. I do think a lot of it is on board of football. So obviously there is a lot of the rumours that he will retire obviously after the tournament. I don't personally think he will. I think he'll go back to Real Madrid for the year. It'd be interesting to see what Dan James does. He always looks like he's carrying the weight of the world when he plays for United, whereas it'll be refreshing to see him play for Wales, where I don't think there'll be as much pressure, even though you're playing for your national team. So we'll see what Dan James has to do today. And then obviously, it'd be nice to see Aaron Ramsey back again today. He had a really good tournament last time for Wales when they got to the semi-finals in 2016. Obviously beaten by Portugal, which was the eventual winners. So we'll see what they do. Obviously, they've got a midfield of Joe Allen and Aaron Ramsey. And then your front three is James, Bale and Kiefer Moore. So I expect Wales to play fairly direct, or basically looking to win second balls off Kiefer Moore's head because he wins a lot of aerial battles. They are in quite good forms, to be honest, Wales. They've won 7 of the last 11 games, which is surprising really considering they've got their assistant in charge, obviously, as Ryan Giggs is suspended for different reasons. And they've only actually lost to France and Belgium, there's no disgrace in that whatsoever. And then obviously move on to Switzerland. So Switzerland will probably play 3-5-2 or 5-3-2, whichever one you want to call it. Obviously, they'll have Ricardo Rodriguez at left back, the football manager prodigy. I think he's currently at AC Milan from Wolfsburg. And then obviously they've got Xhaka in midfield before he goes to Roma. Not a massive fan of Xhaka. Don't really see what he brings to a midfield. Just very ill-disciplined. He's supposed to be a ball winner. Gets sent off quite a lot. But when he seems to score, it seems from 30 yards at the top bin. So we'll see what happens. Then obviously you've got Shaqiri, not played much at Liverpool this year. It's very difficult to break into that front three. He's now got a new airline. I mean, I wish I had his fucking airline because it looks fantastic. And then you've got Brian Bolo. He had a good tournament last time around. Very fast. He was a winger at that point, but now they're playing him directly up front. So that'll be interesting. They've won 6 of their last 11, so decent form. Beats Liechtenstein 7-0 last time out. I mean, it is only Liechtenstein, but you can only beat what's in front of you, can't you? So I think it'll be quite a close contest. I think it'll be 1-1 that game today, with Wales and Switzerland. And then obviously the 5 o'clock game, we've got Denmark, who are in quite good form. They've won 7 of the last 11. 7 of the last 11. A lot of people are tipping Denmark to be like the dark horses of this tournament. Nobody really knows what they're about, but they've got quite a good squad when you look at it. Obviously, you've got Kasper Schmeichel, just won the FA Cup with Leicester. You've got Yannick Vestergaard. Southampton petered off a little bit. I think he could play in a better team. You've got Joachim Andersen, who's just been relegated with Fulham on loan from Lyon. I think a Premier League team will take another punt on him because he always played well. You've got Simon Kjaer from AC Milan. Milan finished second last season, I believe. Then you've got Anders Christensen, just won the Champions League with Chelsea. Obviously, you've got Pierre Højbjerg from Spurs. Very good at breaking up the play. He's just basically a destroyer in the midfield. Plays it very simple. I feel like every team needs a player like Højbjerg in the midfield, just to steady the ship a little bit. And then obviously you've got Christian Eriksen. Had a good second half of the season last year at Inter Milan. Just won Serie A. Then up front you've got Casper Dolberg, or you've got Martin Braithwaite. It's a weird one. Obviously, he was at Middlesbrough a few years ago, didn't work out, went to Spain, and then somehow Barcelona ended up buying you, which is absurd. Like you can't do it on a cold, windy night away at Stoke, but then you end up like passing the ball to Messi for him to score. So it's a madness. And then obviously they're playing Finland today, who've won 4 of the last 11. Not great. It's the first international tournament. Looking at the squad, I can name Glenn Kamara because he plays for Rangers. And obviously, he's part of the big racism scandal against Slavia Prague, I believe. With obviously the big talk about Thomas Souček that's going on at the moment. And then they've only really got Pukki. He had a very good season in the Championship, went to the Premier League, started like house on fire, then dropped off quite considerably. Then obviously stayed in the Championship. Nobody else took a punt on him. Scored a lot of goals, and now Norwich have obviously gone back to the Premier League. So yeah, I don't really see Finland doing anything. Obviously, I've got Finland in the sweepstake at my work, so I hope they do something. I just think Denmark will have a little bit too much for them. I think it'll be 2-0 Denmark today. And then the last game of the evening, we've got Belgium, one of the favourites. Belgium, obviously, they've won 8 of the last 11, so they're banging form at the moment. And then you've got Lukaku, who's one of the favourites for the Golden Boot. I think it's a toss-up between him and Kane, to be honest. So Lukaku, it's like last season he got 13-44. Obviously, he was in the Premier League before and he was classed as like a flat-track bully, but now he's doing it in the more important games. I think Italian football will suit him a little bit better because it's a lot slower, but he's always been a goal scorer. He's a very good finisher. I think the thing with Lukaku is the problem was he looks too big and bulky and his touch was terrible. So people focused on the negatives instead of the positives. So it's like, I think United made a mistake personally in actually getting rid of him, because if you look at the chances that they've missed the season they sold him, if you'd have had Lukaku there, then points win your prizes basically. I think he could have been a big difference, but he's obviously gone to Milan with Conte. If you read all about it, he's changed his diet completely, stripped about 8 kilos off him, looks bang in shape. Yeah, absolutely ripping it up over there in Italy. So I think Lukaku will have a good tournament. Obviously tonight, Belgium, they've got no De Bruyne. He's still injured from getting laid out in the Champions League final. I think he's got something to do with his eye, so he won't be playing tonight. The Belgium they're probably going to play 3-4-3. They'll probably have Timothy Castagne, maybe Nasser Chadli at fullback or wing back, whatever you want to call it, in a 3-4-3 system. Be interesting to see if Tielemans plays. He's a player that I like. He had a fantastic season last year over obviously at Leicester, winning the FA Cup, scoring the goal in the final, which was an unbelievable strike. So Belgium should win this one quite comfortably. We've got Russia. They won 5 of the last 11. They've got players like Golovin, Denis Cherisev and Zhuba. All 3 of them had a very good World Cup last time when they got to the quarters and beat by Croatia on penalties, unfortunately for them. But yeah, don't really see Russia having a good tournament, to be honest. I think Belgium will win this 3-0. Lukaku will score. It's a dead set. And then I think qualifying out of this group will be Belgium and Denmark. Then you basically, with this tournament, with everybody, you're looking to get that 3rd place as it somehow gets you through into the next round of it. So we'll just have to see what happens. And then obviously later on tonight, we've got the boxing on Sky Sports. The last one with Matchroom headlined by obviously Lewis Ritson, who's already come out and said if he's to win tonight, he doesn't really want to fight Josh Taylor, and he hopes Josh Taylor moves up and fights Terence Crawford, which would be an unbelievable fight. So yeah, a decent weekend of sport we've got coming on, guys. And then obviously tomorrow we've got the big one ready for England against Croatia. So we'll have to see what happens. So thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you have a lovely weekend.